When's the best time to come to Montana? What's up? I'm Matt from Mount Forge, and I'm here to talk about Montana. Montana is an amazing place with beautiful scenery, wonderful nature, awesome food, and tons of really cool outdoor activities. It's home to some of the coolest natural wonders in the world, like Glacier National Park and Flathead Lake. Millions of people visit Montana every year, and if you're watching this video, that means you're probably thinking about being one of them. A lot of people that inquire about staying with us at Mount Forge, they ask us one question all the time. When's the best time to come to Montana? I've gone to visit Montana during every single time of year, and this video is to help you plan your trip by giving you pros and cons of each season. If you're looking to go hiking or visit some of the popular higher elevation attractions such as going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park, you're going to want to go in the late summer. A lot of this has to do with the fact that 10 months out of the year, some of these things aren't even accessible due to the snowfall. The summer season is a blast on Flathead Lake. July and August are the only 2 months out of the year that the water is really warm enough to swim in. Not to mention that you can rent a boat, you can go fishing, and you can hang out on the lake all day. Another popular summer activity in Montana is camping. The summertime is the perfect time to go camping out there because the days are nice and warm and it's cool enough at night but not too cold. A lot of businesses are seasonal businesses in Montana related to the tourism industry. So by going in the peak season during the summertime, you can guarantee that everything is going to be open and you're going to be able to do exactly what you want to do. Not to mention, there's tons of awesome events, such as the Flathead Cherry Festival in Polson, and also there's local rodeos, there's outdoor bars and beer gardens. There's tons of awesome summer activities to do. The biggest con about visiting Montana during the peak season is the fact that it's the peak season. Places like Polson go from 5,000 population to 15,000 population during the summertime because of all the people that come to visit. So naturally, places like Glacier National Park are going to be more crowded, and things like lodging and getting a reservation to do an excursion are going to be more expensive, and you'll have to pay a premium. There are things that you can do to make sure that you still have a great experience. For example, if you're going to be going hiking at a place like Glacier National Park, you're going to wake up early, before the sunrise, so that you can get a parking spot and you can get out on that trail before it gets crowded. And another thing you can do is plan ahead of time. A lot of people recommend booking as much to a year in advance when planning to go to Montana in the summertime because of how much things get booked up. The last thing to note about visiting Montana during the summertime is that it's wildfire season. Every year, July and August are the worst 2 months of the year when it comes to wildfires, and it can cause issues such as shutting down roads and making places inaccessible. So make sure that you're aware that this could affect your travel plans, and make sure you're doing everything you can while you're in Montana to prevent wildfires. Although summertime is the most popular time to visit Montana, fall is still a really great time to visit. Early September, for example, you can get a lot of really nice warm summer days. But after Labor Day, things start to slow down, and lodging and reservations and excursions tend to become cheaper. And even in September and October, a lot of the hiking trails are still accessible, even the ones at higher elevation. If you're willing to fight the cold, you can still get to see almost everything you would want to see during the peak season. Once you get in November, every now and then you'll still get a nice warm day, but you can also still do a lot of those lower elevation hikes and see plenty of really awesome things. And you could also still go fishing on Flathead Lake. On the flip side though, the weather during the fall in Montana is pretty unpredictable. So make sure that you're packing for both cold and warm weather. And also in the fall, a lot of seasonal businesses start to close their doors for the winter. Once December rolls around, we get into one of my favorite times of year, the winter time. And that's because out in Montana, there are so many awesome winter activities. I personally love snowboarding, and they have amazing mountains such as Blacktail, Whitefish, all the way down to Big Sky, and many, many more. In the wintertime, you can also do things such as snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. You can go ski joring, which is when a horse pulls you on a snowboard, and you can go dog sledding. And lastly, when it comes to the wintertime, you cannot forget about ice fishing. It's one of the coolest and most popular activities done in the wintertime all across Montana. Aside from all the awesome activities that you can do in the winter, one of the best parts about traveling during this time of year is the affordability. Places like Mount Forge, for example, lower their prices to account for the lower number of travelers coming into the state, so you can get much more affordable lodging. And since there's so many less travelers, you'll have absolutely no problem finding plenty of peace and tranquility for yourself. If you're traveling to Montana in the wintertime, you have to prepare for the elements. And that means doing things like packing plenty of warm clothing, and I always recommend renting a 4x4 vehicle to account for the snow conditions, because you never know what they could be. Lastly, one of the best times to visit Montana is during the spring. Once the winter starts to thaw out and all of the leaves and the grass starts growing, it turns green and Montana really feels like it's coming to life. It's still a very affordable time to travel, as there's not a lot of people that are visiting there yet, and lodging is still at a discount. In springtime, one of the best places to go is Flathead Lake. The fishing starts to become incredible as all of those lake trout really start to bite, and sometimes you'll even catch a super warm day where you can rent a boat and go relax out on the water. Although spring is a really beautiful time to visit, not everything is open yet. The weather can still be a little bit unpredictable. I've been there during a snowstorm in April, and also the water in places like Flathead Lake is too cold to swim, unless you're a little bit crazy. Overall, there isn't a bad time to visit Montana. You can do something amazing at any time of year. We've done things from hiking some of the best trails in the world at Glacier National Park to spending a day on Flathead Lake on a boat. We've got a cabin right there in Polson that's 10 minutes from the lake that we use as a home base and that you can use too as a home base. So please feel free to check out our channel for all the awesome things that you can do in Montana, and feel free to come stay at Mount Forge.